Howdy everybody, my name's Colin McCrazy, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And I just want to say right off the bat that I'm really happy about how last video did. I'm really grateful for a lot of the comments you guys left and how much I could help some of you with just a couple tips that I really gave and not much else. I feel like I didn't really do too much different with that video and all of a sudden it just popped off and did way better than all my other videos. I think that's just the way YouTube works, and sometimes a video flops for no reason, sometimes a video does really good for no reason. So I really appreciate some of you guys coming out and hope you could stick around and come enjoy more of my content. And today I got some more World War II gameplay. I played this insane match on Shipment. I forgot this map was brought back in this game, and I was using this different division I've never used before. It's called Cavalry, and you actually get bonus points for like objective kills and assists and all that. And I didn't realize how much you get from that bonus. So I was actually getting so many points that I would get my score streaks in just a few kills, really, and I would just spam over and over again. And so that's that's what the gameplay is going to be in this background today. So I hope that's exciting to watch, and I just had a great time playing this match. It was really fun. And I want to give more of a in-depth thought to how I kind of approach my day-to-day, I think, nowadays after college, and how I can help more of you guys get maybe yourself motivated for things and essentially get the ball rolling for stuff that you maybe want to do or have plans for, or even just get out of bed and feel productive and want to do certain things for yourself. So with that, I have this phrase that I came up with called the snowball effect, and it's essentially another way to say developing good habits. So you're compounding small bite-sized tasks and ideas to fulfill larger complex achievements that you guys would like to achieve. So using a kind of silly analogy, I'm going to start with this one analogy I have of eating a steak. So as a kid, I didn't really enjoy eating steaks. I kind of hated them because they were so hard to eat. I think there's definitely like a routine and skill of eating a steak. You can't just kind of just bite into it and like how I did and go from there, because you'll definitely bite off more than you could chew. And that's kind of like the whole lesson behind this analogy, is that whenever you have your goal in mind, and if it's a really big goal, you don't want to bite off more than you could chew. You want to take bite-sized pieces of that steak, and that's an easier way of eating a steak rather than just trying to gnaw into it and eat way too big of a bite, and next thing you know you're chewing for like 20-30 minutes just to get that one piece down. You got to learn how to cut your steak properly, make sure you dip enough sauce into it, and the more times you eat a steak, the better you get at that routine. So the more times you try to achieve different goals as you go along, the more you can look back and learn about things you could do differently. And it's kind of funny because like I used to hate steak, and now I actually love eating steak. I don't really buy it super often, but when I do a much better job of eating it, because I didn't even used to use like a fork and knife. I would just literally bite into the whole steak, and I could kind of blame my dad a little bit for those steaks back when I was a kid, because a lot of them were really chewy and rubbery and didn't taste super good. So that also is like another thing, is the steak that you have. If it's bad off the bat, then you're already set up for failure. So the same thing could be with your goals, or maybe like an achievement you want. If it's not a good achievement, or like maybe it's not healthy for you, or it's not well thought out, then you're already setting yourself up for failure no matter how many times you try to practice. So you got to make sure that you have a well-established, solid thought out idea. And that kind of goes into my next analogy a little bit, where I always talk about programming, I feel like, on this channel, because I am a programmer. And a lot of the lessons I learned from programming I use in my day-to-day. So something that my professors would teach me is to keep everything as simple and small as possible. You want to make sure that when you break down your tasks, you're not making them too big. And this is a really easy thing to do, and I feel like as a programmer I learned how to do this pretty efficiently, especially when I had like way bigger projects, like in my senior year, my junior year. I had to do this, otherwise I wouldn't get my stuff done in time, and you might be in a time crunch for some certain things that you want to achieve. So it's really important to keep things simple. And whenever you keep things simple, it's really easy to do simple things like brush your teeth or put away just one dish like a bowl or plate, or maybe fold one shirt. It's as simple as that. And once you have your task set out, let's say you have to do a bunch of chores for the day, you want to start with the easiest chore. You don't want to do the hardest one, because then all of a sudden you're going to be really tired maybe. You might not have enough time to do the other chores, and you probably won't feel like doing them. So one thing that I hated doing when I was living with my parents was mowing the lawn. Now I would have to do a bunch of other different chores, but mowing the lawn was like my least favorite. And it would take the most time. It would take me at least like an hour. And we had like the non automatic mower. You would have to actually push your mower, and it wouldn't like just go. So it was a tall task sometimes, where I was just like, I don't want to do this, and I'd be exhausted. I'd take a shower and maybe just play games for the rest of the day. And instead of doing that first, I would probably start with maybe having to unload the dishwasher, or I don't know, help my mom with something like groceries maybe, or do some laundry maybe. Just, I use the example of like chores just because it's like the easiest thing to talk about. This could literally apply to anything else, just so you know. It doesn't have to just be chores. It's just easy to talk about. And I kind of got off track with programming, but whenever you're programming, you don't want to attack all your code all at once. You don't want to start making functions and then all of a sudden you're starting to do loops, and then you're doing like inner loops, and you're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and you got your variables all in different places, and next thing you know you're like, this is a mess and it's not working, and you can't really figure out what the problem is because you got too much going on at the same time. And so whenever you're doing your small task, you're doing one after another, and this gets the ball rolling, and you want to start always with the easiest one. You don't want to start with the hardest one, and if they're all the same difficulty, that's fine. You can just start with one and go from the next. Whatever one you feel like you want to start with, that's a good way of doing it. And next thing you know, you might just be done. You know, you do like 4 or 5 different things, and next thing you know, you're done. And it's a great feeling, and then you can move on to whatever you have next, and just keep going from there, keep the ball rolling, and eventually you're really just being a productive person. You're really just doing things that you set out to do, and you're not just sitting there thinking all the time or regretting that you're not doing these things. Now, this can't go on forever. Obviously, you have to take a break sometime. It's good to take breaks. It's very good to take breaks, and it's good to reflect back of how you're doing, have retrospective of yourself. Maybe you can improve in certain areas. Maybe you could do better here, do something differently. Maybe don't repeat a certain thing. If you make a mistake, it's going to be really helpful for you when you're looking back at it and being like, okay, that was a mistake, maybe I should do something differently, or maybe I should not do that mistake again. Like next time I see that coming, I'll make sure to not do that. It's very helpful to take a step back, take a break, and then continue on after you have sort of reflection of what you're doing. And it's okay if you can't finish everything that you do. That's perfectly normal. I mean, you only have one day sometimes, and that's just all you have. And you should really not spend your whole day doing this. You should really have time to relax. Again, take your breaks, and then find just a good stopping point, and just relax for the rest of the day. You really shouldn't be doing too much to yourself. Don't want to overwork yourself. And I know this thing gets harped about all the time, but consistency really does pay off. And I believe anyone who pushes themselves to stay consistent with their goals will achieve them eventually, whether it's sooner or later. It could be at any time. You just got to stay consistent, man. And it's a hard thing to do. Trust me, I wanted to really stay consistent with this channel. You can even see it in the way I post. I was having a hard time at the beginning. I started this channel back up again in June, and I really didn't upload for a long period of time between some of those early videos, and then eventually I started being consistent. I started uploading twice a week, and ever since then I've committed to that, and it's really paid off. I really congratulate a lot of you guys for coming in and just interacting in any shape or form. And I couldn't be more grateful for you guys coming in here, because I never really thought this would go anywhere, and I just feel grateful for that. And I'm going to continue making videos that I like making, and you should try to apply some of these tips to your regimen or your routine and see how it goes. Tell me how it goes in the comments if you ever actually, try these things out. I would actually appreciate some of the feedback, and yeah, that'd be really cool. So, with that, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to leave a comment down below on what I should talk about next, you can do so. Or you can leave a question if you have one at the email down in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!